Hey guys, welcome to Unbiased Rugby. So this weekend we had Six Nations games. I've got to watch two of the games. I didn't watch the Italy versus Scotland game. I didn't think that was. I could only watch what the games I could watch, and I felt like watching some Super Rugby games also. So I'm just going to give the scores quickly first, and then I'm just going to do a quick breakdown of the games of how I saw them. I'm mostly going to focus on the England-Ireland game. I think that probably has the most talking points from this weekend, and I think there's a lot that came out from that game, that things that should change, things that shouldn't change, but we can take it from there. So the first game of the weekend, we had Italy versus Scotland. Scotland winning that game 17-0. Not that I'm impressed with Italy. I just think Scotland are really at sixes and sevens, and I don't know what they're going to be doing going forward. I just don't see much of a game plan from them at the moment, and it's a little bit concerning. They're coming to play South Africa, so I've got a keen interest on how Scotland are playing. But at the moment, I just don't see anything. They've got some great players, but I just think there's something fundamentally missing, and we all know it's at 10. But yeah, we won't talk much about that game. Next game we have Wales versus France. I'm just going to go through some of the stats from this game because it's actually phenomenal, the stats. So 523 run meters from Wales, 460 from France. That's exceptionally high. If you compare it to the England game, it's probably half that. Wales had more territory, they had more possession, they had an 86% tackle completion, they had lower penalties. They just could not convert all that pressure, because that's pressure, territory, possession, against a really, really well-drilled defensive side from France. I'm really liking this France side. That Romain Ntamak, I think he is an exceptional 10, a real player, and it's just so nice that a country, they've put their faith in a real young player and really backed him 100%. They've given him all the opportunities, all the space, but the guy's just so smart. He just knows when to kick, when not to kick. I was looking at some of the defending stats, and basically every single one of the forwards, the starting forwards, had double figures in tackles. That's exceptional, absolutely exceptional. And all those double figures of tackles, only 5, 6, 7 missed tackles. That's 6 missed tackles. Sorry, 5. So yeah, that's a seriously impressive side. And I'm not saying Wales played badly. It's just they just didn't convert their opportunities when they were around, and France just hung until the end. You know, France typically play really well in their first half. Second half they come a bit off, but yeah, I think their defensive structures are amazing. I still think Wales are an incredible side. I think they might have to do one or two little changes, little tweaks here and there. I can't remember who the exceptional 13 is. It's such a great World Cup. But yeah, it'll come to me. But yeah, I think Wales are there or thereabout. I don't think the drop off from Gatlin has been that big, and I see them doing seriously well. Listen, I'm going to say this now, guys. If France are blooding these kind of players now, and they're bringing them in now, I could see them winning the World Cup, this next World Cup in 2023. I think them and England are looking seriously impressive, and I could see a real, probably a Northern Hemisphere team winning the next World Cup if France carry on playing the way that they are, and they carry on blooding these new players, because they are really. Paul Willemse had an absolute blinder of a game. It's just so nice to see a real big enforcer, number 4. A lot of countries have gone for a lot thinner, taller players, but we need the Joe Laundries, you need the Eben Etzebeths, you need the Willemses, you need the Bakkies Burto, you need that mold that has to be filled. You need the enforcer on the field that, he lives on the edge a little bit, maybe not Levanini kind of edge, but really does live on the edge and really enforces the game plan. And when it comes to the next game we're going to talk about, because I just want to finish with this game, an impressive victory from France away from home, beating Wales at Cardiff. I think it was really, really good. But yeah, you could see what France were doing right. Wales are doing right as well. They're there or thereabout. But coming to the next game, we're going to see where Ireland are a little bit off compared to England. Before I even get started, I've got to say congratulations to England. I thought that was an absolutely dominant display of physicality, real line speed. That line speed that England brought with was just immense, and I didn't understand why Johnny Sexton didn't adjust to the game plan. Either play a little bit deeper and start kicking. I think maybe because his kicking wasn't that great for on the weekend, but I've just got to say, because I've been going through the news and I've been reading a lot of things, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Johnny Sexton this, Johnny Sexton that." You know, one game doesn't make a bad player. He just had an off day. The guy's an absolute professional. He was World Player of the Year, and I have a real good feeling that he's going to bounce back in the next game. But yeah, I just don't think. I don't understand, because I look at the Ireland pack. I think Cian Healy is just phenomenal. I think Tadhg Furlong is. I don't think he had a great game this weekend, but I thought he was really good. Not a great. I think he's a really good player. Let me just go. I'm actually going to bring up the stats for the game, and then it'll actually make a lot more sense. So 206 run meters from England, 235. England only had 39% possession. They didn't play with the ball. It just goes to show that this is how England are going to start playing. They're going to start playing rugby without the ball, very much like South Africa. 91% tackle completion, 197 tackles done by England, only 17 missed. That's just goes to show that Ireland were hammering at the door, and there was no answer. There was absolutely no answer. England were not letting them in at all. But look at the penalties conceded. Yeah, a bit high from England. 13 is a little bit high. Let's go look at some of the player stats. I always look at defending first. Defending is always my favourite. If I look at Toji, Laws, Underhill, Curry, all at double figure tackles. Probably missed one or two, but Owen Farrell had 16 tackles, 4 misses though, which is a little bit high, but that's still what you want your captain to do. If I look at on the other side, only Stander had double figures. Stander and Aki had double figures, no misses. I thought Stander had a really good game. He had that one dominant tackle against him, which was a bit intense. But yeah, if I go through the England side. I like Elliot Daly, I like Johnny May. Maya Tuilagi is really good. Owen Farrell, I prefer Owen Farrell at 10. That's just my personal opinion. I have not been a fan of Ben Youngs for some time. He's just not my favourite player. I just don't know. There's just something wrong. The guy's had so many opportunities, played so many tests. They need somebody a little bit different there. But that's my personal opinion. I'd love to be proven wrong. I really would love to be proven wrong. Sinclair, for me, is becoming one of the premier tight heads in the world. It really is. He seems to have got control of that aggression that he had, that red mist, and he seems to be getting a little bit better at it. I'd love to see him and Genge starting. That would be. I also think. Marla's also exceptional good loose head, but yeah, it'd be nice to see Sinclair and Genge starting. I think that could be a real feisty front row. Cruz, I thought Cruz had an okay game. Courtney Laws, I still prefer Courtney Laws coming off the bench. That's my personal opinion. I think it's. I can understand why Curry is playing at 8 without Billy Vunipola being there, but I prefer him at 7. I just think Underhill and Curry playing off the sides of the scrum it's a lot better combination than Curry playing at 8. I'm not saying he didn't have a bad game. It's just, when he's playing at 7 or 6, you actually see him. You see him a lot more in the game, a lot more carries, a lot more there. But yeah, listen, guys, I'm picking at really small things here because I thought that was an exceptional, well defended, well drilled English side, and they really brought out the power game. One thing you can see, I was watching the spider cam, and you can actually see from the top, you could see from the scrums, Cian Healy was, I always look at the top of the scrums, and you look at mauls and scrumming, because it's a great way of knowing if the coaching's really good, and it's all about all the bodies being in line. So if you look at the top of the spider cam, you could literally see, not when Genge came on, I think he still needs a little bit of training, but you could see when they were coming, and they were basically all in a line, and then you could. Keen Healy was a little bit off, Tide Furlong was a little bit off, the flanks weren't 100% right for Ireland. And I thought there should have been fairly parity between the two sides, because I think the Irish front row is exceptionally good. But you could also when you look at the side of the scrum, you also look at the shape of the backs, and it's nice to see. So you got your props, and they're all going in a line. Okay? For me, you know everyone's pushing in the same direction. You can see pushing in the same direction that way, pushing in the same direction that way. So it's literally, you can see that they're well coached, and I think getting Proudfoot, who I think is probably one of the premier scrum coaches in the world, probably scrum forward coach. I think with John Mitchell. Oh yeah, I've just forgotten the coach's name. Yes, imagine that, forgetting Eddie Jones's name. Proudfoot, I think England are a real team to watch. Their goal is to be the best team in the world, and I've got a feeling that they've got the personnel to do it. Looks like they've got exceptional depth, especially at lock. But yeah, congratulations to England, great victory. My one concern, so what happens to you when you come up against a team that matches the physicality? You know, there used to always be a way where, who was the Mallet? Nick Mallet said, the best way to beat South Africa is you have to be brave. And so to be brave, you just got to take the tackles. You got to be in there. When a team's being physical, you've just got to be just as physical back. And it'd be nice to see when England come up against another physical side, or side that can absorb that kind of physicality and give it back. Is there a game? Is there a second plan? Because I think England have exceptional outside backs, and it'd be nice to see them starting to be included in the whole tech structure. But that's a tiny little thing, guys. I'm just trying to say something that probably means nothing. Coming across to Ireland. Look, the next game is against Italy, so there are going to be wholesale changes. I don't think you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think there are a few positions that the players need some. They probably need a little bit of changing. I'm thinking Conor Murray. I don't think he had a really good game. I don't think he's had a really good game for a while. He's been a little bit off his kicks. Normally his kicks are just pinpoint. He's either kicking too deep. It's just a little bit aimless. He's not kicking far enough. But also yesterday, you can't just blame him. There weren't enough follow-up runners. Sexton had a shocker of a game. But yeah, if you have 1 in 20 games or 1 in 50 games, it's a shocker. That's his one game done. I think he should be rested for Italy. Maybe bring in Carvery, or if Carvery's not injured, bring in someone a little bit different. I'm just going to go through the back row first. So Conor Murray, Stockdale also had a shocker of a game. Aki, I thought, was okay. Henshaw, Conway, okay. Lamar, I think, is probably going to be one of the premier fullbacks in the world. Really had I really do rate him, and I think I'm hoping that this kind of loss doesn't get knocked too much, because he is the player for the future. Coming into the forwards, I thought Keen Healy was injured, which is not that great. Furlong, I don't think he had a great game, but he's still a world-class player. Devon Toner, I thought I could see him. For the game against England, I just don't think he was the right player for that position. And I just think, even though he's great at the liner, I honestly feel that Ireland lack an enforcer, a really big 21 stone or 135 kilogram, whatever, 125 kilogram lock, a number 4, a real Bucky's Buerta kind of player, somebody who, chances are his first couple of games he's going to get a few yellow cards. He may get a red card every now and again, but once he's made the legend around him, I think that's the player that's needed, and that's that back row. And I'm hoping that they can recruit internally and they can find somebody from Ireland who can actually fill that position. Because I just think if I look at James Ryan, I think he's absolutely wasted as an enforcer. He's not there to carry the ball. The guy is an exceptional footballer. I think he's probably one of the premier locks in the world, and he's just wasted as an enforcer. That's just my personal opinion. I honestly feel he'd be wasted as an enforcer, and he needs an enforcer with him. Peter O'Mahony had a cracker of a game, but yeah, I think the big change is going to happen there. I really do feel that Stunder's going to move to 6 because I thought Sunder had another really good game. I feel that he's played himself back into the team. But the last time that we saw Doris come out, he only played for about a minute. And when he came onto the field, yes, it's easy to make the guys on the field look ordinary when you've just come onto the field after a really hard game like that. But we really, Ireland needs someone who's at that number 8, who's the old Stunder, but maybe has a little bit more ball skills, and get Stunder to do what Stunder does. Get him coming off the blind side, smashing into the wings, and I honestly feel that that's the way to go. But yeah, I don't think it's all doom and gloom for Ireland. I thought their second half, they were the better team in the second half. And they were clawing their way back, but they just ran out of time. England's two tries were from complete mistakes from Ireland, but that's how England play. They're going to pounce on your mistakes. You make one mistake and they score a try. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the game. Disappointed. I'm complete neutral, even though I'm wearing my Irish jersey. Still, thanks again, Mark. Complete neutral. I thought it was an entertaining game. I really liked the way that England are starting to play. I think they're really bringing their physicality, and I think they're really getting that depth on their tight 5. Are really getting good depth. Genja's a great up-and-coming player. I'm liking having Launchbury back. I think he brings something a little bit different. So I think that tight 5 depth is highly important, especially the way that England want to play. They want to play a 4-dominated game, physicality through the roof. You have to have depth in your tight 5, and it looks like they're starting to get it. And yeah, good on them for that great victory. But yeah, guys, that was the weekend of Six Nations. I must admit, I've enjoyed this year's Six Nations. It's been highly entertaining. After the World Cup we had, which is a different kind of rugby. It's just nice to actually see, the new players coming through, the young blood, the new coaching techniques, the new coaches. Some teams doing well, some teams not doing so well. And I just have to say one thing. I was watching another channel, and they were relaying into Ireland. But the last 2 weeks, you were singing their praises. So I just want to say that they're not as bad as what you think, and I don't think they're as bad as you're saying. So I see them bouncing back fairly quickly from this, and I see them by June, the Way series, and in November, I think see them doing really well again. And I see them starting to build again, because I think Farrell is the right coach for them. But listen, guys, please put your comments down below what you thought of the games, which games you liked, which players you liked. I think my player for the weekend just popped to my Itoji. I thought he's becoming a little bit Richie McCoyish, and that's a huge big compliment from me. He knows when to put his hand into the ruck, and he knows when to slow it down a little bit. He's always that niggly kind of player, and you need that. If you're going to play that kind of game, you need that player. So for me, player of the weekend, Mario Toji. And yeah, guys, hope you have an absolutely wonderful week. Chat soon. Cheers.